Good evening, everyone. Yes, you are on the right channel. You are on the Bible Patrol channel, Bible Patrol Man, and it is Thursday and it is Testimony Night. That's right. But we have switched out just a little bit, and I've been allowed to sit in the host chair. And I'm very thankful for that. So, we have another wonderful testimony session for you tonight. For those who have been tuning in to us, we welcome you back again. For those who may have tuned in for the first time, we welcome you in the house this evening. We have something amazingly wonderful to share with you. And I know that I'm going to say, I pray that you will be inspired because I sure was. And so we're going to get right to it in just a minute. I want to introduce you to our guest for this evening. And all of this got started. Our theme for this evening is better because of, better because of. And our guest this evening has had some amazing situations to occur in his life, but he says he's better because of, and you'll figure out what the of is as he shares. Right now, for those who are on YouTube, again, welcome. Those who are chiming in on Facebook, welcome. I want to introduce you all to none other than Mario Mangrum. We're so
Hey, how
glad to have
you
you
yeah.
tonight.
Hey, how you doing? I'm so
How's it
excited.
going?
It's going great.
That's great. That is great, Mario. It's been a journey, man. It's been a
Yeah,
journey,
yes,
right?
it have. But I'm thankful I'm here right now to tell you the
Yes,
story.
sir. That's it. That's it. I'm thankful too. And we started off together, Mario and I. We started off together on a venture. He's my cousin, and we started on out on a cousin journey of 31 days of 30 minutes of physical activity. And so that journey began, and we're going to share more with you about that journey. But right now, Mario, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm an ordinary person. Father of three. My youngest mother got killed, so I've been in charge of parenting him for the last 10 years, which I'm glad to have him in my life. I've had some difficult times, but God is great. I don't even say good anymore. I have to say great now because
Yes.
of the great things that He's done for me. And also, I love to say thank you to my support team. You can't make it without a support team. And my
Yes.
family and my friends, I love you all. The Maxwell's and Mangles.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we love you too. We love you too. So, um, moving into this, the rest of our talk tonight, really getting into it, I want to show a little bit of a clip of some things that began to happen in your life in 2015. If we have that clip, can we roll that clip right now? Our, our tech guy is working on that. And while he's working on that, we'll just continue to talk just a little bit, and he'll let us know if he has it ready. We can go back into it. But
Right.
2015, we'll just start to talk about the change. Some great things start to happen in your life in 2015. Can you tell us a little bit about it? A new house, I see, and a new business and all kinds of wonderful things.
Yeah, well, God had put me in a place with some very unusual circumstances, and I thank God that He kept me straight and in line, and I carried myself accordingly. So He blessed me for it.
Amen.
And yeah, and I was able to get away and do some great things and help a lot of people out and start organization called DAV, that's stands for Dance Against Violence. Me and some of my friends, we all got together and started doing things for the kids because it's all about the kids. And if we as fathers can stand up and start being the head once again, then that'll get a lot of more control over not just the household or your community, but perhaps the entire world, you know?
Yes. Yes, that I truly believe that. I truly believe that there's a great need for leadership from our fathers, and they do make a major impact on our children. And that was a really powerful thing that you all did out in the park in 2015, Dads Against Violence. Do we have that video yet, sir? Maybe we don't have it yet. I don't know. Well, there we go. It's coming. Okay, we don't have any sound. All right. We had several superheroes in that video. None of you had fun, but it was all good because it was all dads and their fellows, their boys, and you all were making a difference. How long did it really kind of take you to get that going there?
Well, I had some tragic events happen, like in 2010, and it was like, excuse me, sorry. Tragic events happened where some people that was dear and close to me got killed. Like 5 people got killed in 3 months that I was just with. So it touched me, and we having candlelights, and I got up and spoke in 2010, and God told me to talk about and bring together Dads Against Violence. And that's when I got up and spoke about it, and the friends and the elders all grabbed in together, and we all put it together.
All right. And it looked like it was a lot of fun. I think you did it more than one time. So I know the kids really enjoyed it. It looked like they were tearing up that little bouncy thing.
Yes, they was. And we're making sure we'll give good shouts out to Gangsta Black also, because he's a co-founder member also, and he helped bring other organizations in where we was able to donate school supplies, free lunch during the summer, and things like this also.
Wonderful. Well, I know that something else wonderful happened recently. A great achievement took place with your youngest son. Tell us about that.
Yes, wow. It was so amazing. He graduated, and I was ecstatic about it. I was dressed to the T. I had to look good for him, and I was just overwhelmed. I believe I was happier than he was.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you said that part of your changes in your life was to give him a better opportunity.
Correct. Because I was in a place where it wasn't a great atmosphere to be raising a child, and I had to pick which was best, my atmosphere or the well-being of my son. So I chose my son.
All right. And that's really, that's what a good parent does. You want the
Yeah,
best for your child, right? You want the
true.
best for your child. So you do what's best for your children. You make those sacrifices, for your
Yeah.
kids. So we had the graduation. He's excited and he's all done now. And he's starting to, make some strides on his own. And then, excuse me, then September of 2020 happened. And
Yes.
9/23. Tell us about that.
Yes, man, that's the day I'll never forget. I was getting it was September 23rd, about 6:10 in the morning. I was in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, getting ready for work, and my body started feeling awkward, but automatically your body gonna fight its way back. So my body was fighting what was going on, which I didn't know at the time. And about 6:11, my left side started sinking like I was in quicksand, and I'm like, I'm trying to fight, and I know it was God. God came to me and said, "You having a stroke," and I realized, and I knew I was having a stroke, so I called for my friend Alicia for Alicia to call the ambulance. And around 6:40, I made it to the hospital, and they was able to give me a clot busting because I actually was having a stroke.
Wow.
And I made it there in time, and that day there changed my life to turn me into the person that I am today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember you sharing some of the videos with us, and we did a lot of praying while you were in
Yes.
while you were in that hospital too. And
Yes.
it was a rough time. But you said earlier in before we got on stage, you said something about you felt like it was a Job experience. Tell us about that.
Yes, because I never questioned God about my stroke. I never questioned him about why I got paralyzed on the left side. I looked at it. I said, "Thank you, Jesus. I wasn't driving because I could have been driving and killed myself and killed many others." And I took it as because I'm a child of God. That oh my God, because I am a child of God because of my grandfather, Jose Patterson, because he's a reverend and he instilled in us the word of God. It is up to us to take. Oh God, that's my nephew calling. Sorry.
That's okay. You froze.
Uh,
There you go. I see you.
okay. Yeah. Wow, they need quick call. Yes, stars. Where was I?
You were talking about Papa.
Yes, I'm talking about Paul. So he put the word in, and by me knowing the word, I consider myself as Job because he took all of this away from me. And I knew Job didn't question God on the bad things that was happening to him because he know he came into the world with nothing and he could leave with nothing. Everything belonged to God. But he had faith in God that he would bring him back. And I use that as my stepping stone. And that is the reason why I'm here today, where I'm not, my face not slum. I get a little numb on my left side sometimes on my in my
Mhm.
mouth, but I'm walking because God put me in a great place. And
Yeah.
that's the thing about God. He put you around people that
Mm.
will help you through your journey
Yeah.
because I'm new to having a stroke. I'm 46 years old and I'm getting pushed in a wheelchair and I'm seeing older people that done had 2 and 3 strokes, and they put me with them and to encourage me, to let me know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I thank them right today. And I thank God for putting them in my presence to give me the heads up on what was I to expect.
Wow. Wow. That was a blessing to have. That's a whole nother level of support system right there.
Yes,
Individuals you
yes,
probably never would have come in contact with had you
right.
not gone through that. But they were senior heads, and they not only shared with you just what's going to happen there, but they gave you some of them I think gave you some life tips as well.
Oh,
Because I know
yeah,
you were worried about your son. So can you
yes.
share maybe some of the life tips that they encouraged you with?
Oh, yes. The after I was able to start getting around, nurse came to me. She said, Mario, there's a lot of people coming here that have strokes and get better and go home doing the same thing that they did that got them here in the first place. So
Mm,
if you don't want to come back here, don't do the same things that you were doing, and you will live a better and healthier life. And I take that to ear, and I got it in my heart, and it has transformed me in these 2 years, like I've been in a cocoon, maybe, or each time I'm getting stronger and stronger in spirit. I'm not even talking about physically. The physical thing is not the issue. It was the inside.
mm, mm,
God had to work on me from the inside in order to get my outside correct. And
right.
he says, done it. I am in a happy place in my life. I can be beat. I I mean the world is great because God is great. And I'm here to share with you and everyone that have a little doubt in God, that don't have doubt in God, because He is great. He don't forsake us, we forsake Him.
Mm, mm. Because he never left you. All of that time, he never left you. I
Never
remember
left.
you were talking about your rehabs, the exercises and things that you were doing. Um, Tell us a little bit about how challenging that was for you. I remember seeing one of the video clips where they had gotten you out of bed and they were trying to get you to make some steps. What was
Right.
going on in your head? I know you were concerned about your child and all of that, and just what kind of, because he hadn't graduated yet at that point.
Right.
What
No,
kind of
he
things?
was only 16, 15. He was only 15 then.
Mm,
And and that's my thing is I gotta get back home to him. He I'm the only got. Well, you're not technically all he got, but I'm the only parent. And so I got to be there. And it was very challenging. And when they got me out the bed for the first time to take a step, my right leg could make a step. My left leg would only slide and I would go down. And the
mm,
doctors would have to hold me up. And took about 2 or 3 steps maybe, and they asked me, would you prefer to go to a rehab stroke, I mean a stroke rehab, or do rehab at home. And the person I was with at the time, Alicia Jennings, she was insisted. She made some of the greatest decisions, and said, "No, he's going to go to Encompass at the rehab place." And that was the best decision, one of the best decisions that she made,
Mm,
because when I got there, I wasn't doing anything. They was changing me because
mm,
I couldn't do nothing. I just had strength in my right side, not left. And slowly but surely, um, my speech therapist, I had to have speech because to help me chew, because if my my mouth I would tell my mouth to chew, but it wouldn't,
mm,
and I would get
mm,
choked or whatever. So that I got taught how to talk again and eat again. Um, Taught me how to be self-independent, sort of, where if I when I do go home and my left side don't come back, that I could be able to put my clothes on and take a shower and things like that. And but God is great, so He put me through some great experience, not experiments, some great experiences on learning how to walk again as an adult. It's like it's amazing. Like when you see a child move, when a child move his first arm, move the arm for the first time, they're amazed at it. When I
mm,
took my first step as a grown up after the stroke, I was a kid again because I felt great at it. But I
mm.
was only making small steps. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, only small steps, but they were great steps. And it was a older gentleman passed by me on the stroller, I mean on the walker, and he making 2 laps to my 1 lap. I'm like, wow. So that was my encouragement. Well, I got to catch up to this older guy, and out those 3 weeks, I was able to come home and be happy with my life and be happy with the outcome, and don't give up and keep going. And I'm here now.
Woo! Raise them up.
Yeah,
Raise them up.
yeah,
Praise God. Praise God.
yeah,
Oh, that is so
yeah.
good. And that didn't just come overnight. That came because
No,
you decided to make some changes. You decided to fight for it, and you're still winning it. You're still winning it.
yes,
That is great. Now we were talking about and that was kind of um the beginning of your turnaround after you got out of the hospital and you started doing some things for yourself, and we came on down to where this, where we are in 2022.
hmm,
And August 2022, um I began a challenge and I put it out there to the family and some of my friends on Facebook. It was inspired by a young lady named Amber Batten. She is the CEO and owner of Simple Solutions LLC. And Amber was on that page, and she on her page, and she was Mario.
yeah,
She was going, doing all those exercises. I was like, and she's doing it every day. She had made a commitment. I said, Amber, I'm following you. I'm following you with
yes,
that one. And so
yes.
I put the challenge out. I started it in August the 1st, and we went throughout the entire month of August. You would tag me in on something, and I would tag you in every morning. We try to
Yes.
tag each other in, and you made some amazing changes in your life. Let's talk about from the walker or the cane
Yeah,
to what happened. I can't tell it. I
yeah.
can't tell it. I'll let you tell it.
Okay, okay. I went from um first taking using a walker to walk around, just a home to get my comfort zone. And so once I moved from the walker, I made it to the cane because I still needed stability. And at the same time, I'm also doing rehab. I am doing therapy at the hospital, And I also do come home and do my therapy also. So
Mm-hmm.
I was getting a double dose to make sure I can get my brain to find another pathway to tell my left leg or my left arm to move and to step. So that's what it was. I was making them pathways. And I promise to God, I actually was able to feel, your brain let off electricity. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to feel the sparks. I'm and it was just so amazing because before I know it, I was on the cane, and from me walking in the house to I was walking to the edge of my driveway. From the
Mm-hmm.
edge of my driveway to a small little portion of my street with the cane. From the
Mm-hmm.
small portion of my street, a little bit farther, and a little bit farther, and a little bit farther. This is no overnight thing. This is months and months of dedication, and you know that you want to get better. Not saying you want to get better, but you're doing something that want to get better. Because God
Mm-hmm.
says if you make one step, He will do the rest.
All
So
right.
I take His word by faith. So I kept on expanding my territory with my cane, and I
Yes.
I eventually was able to walk around the corner with my cane.
All
So,
right.
all right. So now I'm like, okay, I'm getting feeling a little snobby. Well, let me bring my grandbaby with me now. He 8 years old, so he can call and get help in case something happens. so so we started walking like to the end of my street without the cane to a little bit farther. But I kept it
Yeah.
with me now. Got and a little bit farther and a little bit farther, and my confidence was getting better, and my walking was getting better, my posture was getting better, and my
Mm.
attitude was getting better.
Yeah.
And everything started reflecting back to what these people were teaching me and and accomplish at the stroke rehab place, that things is going to get better, that
Yeah.
you will be okay. And man, it's just so much accomplishments. And before long, I went from without the cane to around the corner to a now then once we did our 3130, um I was doing like maybe 5,000 and 6,000 steps. And as the 3130 went on, I started expanding it, going to 6,000 steps to 6,500. I think I made it all the way up to 6,700 steps. And that's not to mention when I come home and do my arm therapy. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful that and grateful to gratified that you let me know about that, because that inspired me to not make sure not to sit down, to get back up and to
Yeah.
continue going on with your life, and do not stop, no matter how bad that it look, no matter if you feeling that it was like I was in quicksand. So, but I was
Mm.
just going down on the left side. Some of us may be in quicksand almost up to our nose. But don't
Mm.
give up, because God is great.
Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And there was something else that you achieved. And when it seemed like when you gave up this habit, it was a habit that you had for a long time. But when you gave up
Yes.
this habit, it's like you got even more energy, like your Superman cape came
Yeah.
into play then when you
Yes. I'm like, then boom, all of a sudden the taste of cigarettes just went out my mouth. I'm like, wow, I ain't even it didn't I didn't do it. I know I didn't do it. But I was like, man, I ain't smoked a cigarette in 3 days. Man, I ain't smoked a cigarette in a week. Hey y'all, I ain't smoked no cigarette. I ain't smoking cigarettes. So wow. And and by doing that, it seemed that I started getting better at a lot of more things than having
Mm,
the toxics from the cigarettes was clouding my brain and shortening my transmission and my electric
mm,
sparks. And so now I got that cloud out the way and my leg is stronger. Um, my arm is stronger. Um, I'm standing up stronger. Um, man, I can keep going. I mean, because I'm just I'm so happy. You know,
yeah,
I do.
yeah. You're cooking better, you're eating better,
Yeah,
walking better.
yeah, yeah, cooking, driving, dog drive. I'm telling you now, my family tell me, boy, pick that up. You ain't handicapped. They ain't going for the handicap.
No sympathy. No
Yeah.
sympathy. Yes, man. Yes. And I just, I just thank God, like I said, as I see you progressing, I see the journey. You've always had something special about you anyway. But then
Thank
when
you.
this came, and I was worried about you because I was like, Lord, he's in a cloud. You got to get him out of that dark space. And
Yeah.
there may be somebody here tonight that's in a dark space. And I hope that his testimony lets you know that all you have to do is reach beyond the break. He didn't give up. And if you don't give up, you too can get you can get past the dark clouds in your life. And
Yeah.
there's so many more testimonies that he can share with you. He told about his steps. For those who are online, on YouTube, on Facebook, I want to thank you so much again for jumping in here with the Bible Patrolman Testimony Thursday. He said,
Yeah.
I give you your props for
Yeah.
coming into
Woo,
the
woo, woo.
house. Thank you all for coming into the house, joining us this evening with Mario Mangrum and his testimony of how the stroke made him a better man. He's a better man because of a stroke. Not too many people would be able to say that, but he's saying that this evening. And
Yes.
when you were talking about your steps increasing, I started looking, every time you show your steps, I was like, ooh, he got 4,000. I need to get 4,000. You kept me on my toes. I'm telling you, I had to
Yeah.
make that I had that 30 minutes of movement. And if we just continue, movement does so much for our bodies. And,
Yes,
and
it
you
does.
attested to a lot of it. So tell us about some of the activities that you've done for and with your arm to help strengthen your arm.
Oh, yes. They taught me a thing called pulling the sword. It's
Okay.
the like how you will pull a sword from its harness and raise it up in the air. So
Okay.
that get your muscles back in tune. And at first I couldn't do none of this. All of
Wow.
this, all of this was impossible to do. I could
Yeah.
I could do this. I could lift my shoulder up, yeah. but anything concerning my arm, no. And then they also put me on like a hand bike with the
Mhm.
pedals and it have your arm going in rotation and it helps you get your movement back and loosen up your joints and also
Mhm.
repetition. Repetition is very important. You have to do repetition to get things back in line with where they supposed to be. So the more you do things, just like when you practice, you get better at it. So
Right.
the more I did it, the better I became. Then they
Yeah.
will do put my arm down on the mat and
Mhm.
pressure, and they'll press on my back, and I have to hold him up. And the
Yeah.
first day I did that, I said, "Wow!" I said, He had gave me a high five. I said, I did it, Mark. We slapped hands and everything. You just don't know, man. Then I got a shoulder pulley, and the shoulder pulley helps you lift your arm up,
Wow.
goes up like this. Then eventually it gets easier. Then your arms gets lighter instead of it being dead weight. And all you do is just do them daily, 30 minutes a day. But me, I'm hard headed. I like to do more than I supposed to because I want to play basketball again. I love basketball.
All
And
right.
yeah, so I gotta get back at it.
Yes, yes, and you can
Yeah,
because I see your fortitude, your desire to get it done, and you're gonna keep moving. I remember I'm wearing pink because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we did lose a loved one,
yeah,
but she was an amazing woman. And I remember,
yes.
Mario, when we were over by her house and we had the race with the children. Oh
No,
my goodness.
no, but do you know that was the first time I ran? I I didn't do it. I did great. I did great. I did great. I
You
did.
did. You
Yeah.
did.
And
We were
yeah, but
the
I would
children
have
were
never done it if you would have never brought it up. So I thank you for putting me in that situation to be like not afraid to take a step forward, to go right at it. And I did it, and I thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you did a good job. You did a
Yeah.
good job. If that little one hadn't just blocked you, you may have won. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
some good times, some good times.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
you were talking about um, the the electricity that our brain gives and the repetitions. And every time we do something, just like you were creating new habits with your arms, and but you were creating also new habits of thinking as well. And you mentioned
Mhm.
earlier in that you have to create new waves, new brain waves. When we get rid of old habits, the only way that we can get rid of old habits is to start doing something new, to redirect the brain into a
Yep.
different path. And
Yeah.
we talked about some cross lateral things to allow one side of the brain to work with the other side and then to make the body do what it needs to do. And you were doing some of those things as well. So
Yes.
I'm still excited. I'm looking for you when you come riding that bicycle.
Oh
Hey,
man, I cannot wait. I don't think I ain't tried now. I don't I don't I don't try about 3 times. My balance ain't there right now.
it's all right. It's coming. It
Yeah,
is coming. It
yeah,
is
yeah.
coming.
It's gonna
And
come.
yeah, yes,
Yep,
man,
that it
yes.
is.
And I
Yep.
know another new thing that you started doing too. You started going to church more
Yeah,
with your mom.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that made your relationships better.
Yes. I started. I always been a church person, but I wasn't just going. You then now since I've got a new outlook on life, um, I know what is more important than what's not important, and I know I got to keep my relationship strong with God in order to succeed in life and to be the person that I'm going to be, because this is just the start of it. It is not the end.
Yeah.
Um, and each time I go to church, my mother church is not big, but it is a great church because when you go in, you come out different from when you went in there. And
Mercy.
that's what it's all about. If you don't get the chills and the goosebumps, that some ain't right, and you getting all the chills and the goosebumps. I'm making a 50-mile journey just to get to church.
That's right. That's right. And I know she is happy to see you walk in there. I know that first day you probably caught her off guard. She probably
Yeah,
looked back and said, "What?"
yeah. You ever heard an Auntie Lane? I do.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I love my family, and I've noticed that we have got short on aunts and uncles in our
Mhm.
family. And for right now, that I know that I'm going to do all I can to spend as much time and make memories. And because I'm learning a lot of things about my aunts that I didn't know. And the
Mhm.
only way I was able to do that is to have a relationship with them. In order to
Yes.
have in order to get deep and intimate, you got to have a personal relationship. In order to have that personal relationship, you got to be a child of God to have love in your life in order for it to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And that all of that started, um well, not all of it started, but it continued to turn. Your wheels continued to turn when you had your Job experience. It's
Yes.
we can ride high. In 2015 you were riding high and you were riding well and strong, but God saw fit to allow you to
Hmm.
grow even more through your
Hmm.
stroke experience.
Yeah,
So
for him to, because I'm headed in another journey, and the end of beginning of next year, end of next year, I should have my book should be fully published. And he needed my head on straight and my
mm,
heart in the right place in order for this to touch people's hearts, because I'm not a hypocrite, and I'm not finna write something about that is not factual. And
yeah.
everything that I written in this book called Fatherhood to Parenthood is original, and it is deep, and it's taught me about the transformation that I had to make from being a father, because I've always been a father to my child. But once his mother got killed in 2010, then I had to be a full-time parent. And a
Mm,
father and a parent is something totally different.
mm,
There's, and I had to evolve and make a change in my life. And that's what the book is about, fatherhood to parenthood, on the changes that I made.
yeah.
And I would love to be able to speak in front of a lot of people and tell them my journey and the things that I went through, because most people are not going to listen to someone who really haven't been through anything. But
Mm,
if a person who has been through something, they'll be quicker to listen to. And
right.
but you had got to have a good heart and great intentions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. We and not just intentions, but then moving on your dreams and your visions. Sometimes people get stuck in good intentions, but when you
Mm,
move forward on your dreams and your visions, and this book, I know you've been working on it for a little while, and so
yeah.
now to see it's coming to fruition, I'm very excited, sir.
Yes, yes,
Very
yes.
excited for that. Well, Mario, this I think we've covered quite a bit. But if there's one thing that you could tell somebody who has been or is in a dark place in their lives right now, what would you say to them?
Um, there's no dark place that God cannot get. Prime example, I was the I was in the stroke rehab, and they wheeled me in and put me beside an elder woman. I didn't know her name. I didn't know nothing about her. I'm sitting there, and the doctor comes up. She's like, "Hey, Mario, I heard you did good yesterday and made some steps. So what about your arm? Are you able to move your arm?" And I did everything in my power to lift my arm, and my arm would not move. And you could see the dismay on my face and the disappointment. And the elder lady touched me on the side and she said, "Baby, don't worry about this. You gonna get better." And I didn't never question her. And look at me now.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
there's no dark place that God can't reach.
Yes. Yes. Well, we thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us this evening, and just taking out the time to share because of who you are. God took some steps to make you who he wants you to be, and he's continuing to do that every day of your life and of all of our lives if we're willing. If we're willing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Mario, thank you again for hanging out with us. This has been a wonderful adventure, and we're gonna rev up that 3130 again so that we'll be able to give another report at another time.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. I'll be glad to. And it was an honor to be on here, and I thank you so much. And thank you all out there for listening to me. And I hope I was able to reach someone and let them know that God is great.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. And so this evening, everybody, it's been an awesome time hanging out with you. Keep your eyes out for the book that is coming, From Fatherhood to Parenthood by Mario Mangrum. And go start now preparing to be able to share it with somebody else. It's an amazing story about an amazing man. And you all too, don't give up on yourselves. Don't worry about things that you can't change. Know that God has the power to change everything, but we got to be willing to trust him. We got to be willing to hold his hand when we can't hold anybody else's hand. All right. Well, everybody, thank you again for being with us. This has been First Thursday, Testimony Thursday, and we have enjoyed sharing this time with you. Until next month, I hope that you stay strong, stay healthy, challenge yourself to do better than you did last week, last few minutes, yesterday, whenever it was. Give yourself a challenge, and may God continue to bless you and keep you in all your ways.